Hey there, miners and crafters. RJ here. Welcome back to another episode of Chock-A-Block. On this episode, we're going to show you how to make that giant chicken that you just saw in the intro. Now, before we do that, I do have another agenda. I want to discuss the new update, the seeds, but more importantly for me right now is the dyes that have become available, because this chicken project has been something that's been on my mind since I started playing Minecraft Earth, but as you know, before only white wool was available, and in my farm I do have a means of shearing white wool, and I have been doing that for a while. I got almost 400 in that process, but in terms of finding the yellow wool, the red wool and the black wool necessary, it was just a bit difficult to obtain. So you're going to see we need quite a bit of yellow wool. We only need 4 blocks of red wool and 2 blocks of black wool. The black wool you will have to find through chests, because as far as I'm aware, you can't make black dye yet. I haven't seen any ink sacs or wither roses. So unless anybody knows any different, please leave a message in the comments and let me know. But that and brown dye. I haven't seen any cocoa beans yet, but they're very possibly in a chest out there somewhere. Someone might have found them. So, without further ado, what we'll do is we'll look at the dyes that have become available. So we've got a whole range of colours that have been introduced. Not all of them, like I say, are available yet, I don't believe, but here's the ones that I can make so far, and you can see 2 in red there because I can partially make those. I still require some ingredients to complete those, but predominantly most of these colours are made using plants. So we've got the blue orchid and the orange tulip there, the pink tulip for the pink, blue lapis, which you find in adventures, which I highly recommend going out and doing if you haven't done yet. Very good for resources. And then just looking here, I need blue lapis if I want to make, I need blue dye if I want to make cyan, and if I want to make lime dye, I need white dye. And that's because I already have some green dye. As you can see, that's not on this screen. That's actually part of smelting. So you have to use some fuel to cook up your cactus. But we'll just have a quick look here under the wool. As long as you have a piece of wool, you'll be able to see all of the wool that is available here. As you can see, a whole range of colours. Interestingly, there is black there. I can't see brown, but I can see black. So I'll have to definitely look into that. But for now, as I say, you only need 2. I have managed to find 6 through chests, so hopefully you've managed to find 2 so far. And here is the smelting side. So it's just cactus and fuel, usually wood, as there's an abundance, I suggest. It takes 1.5 minutes to create this, so I'd probably suggest doing a few stacks beforehand if you're going to do a big project using green wool. I would also suggest always be crafting other things and smelting other things in preparation, because I have seen a lot of people and a lot of comments, you know, with concerns around how long it takes to craft things, and it does take a long time for certain items. I'm actually going to make a video on that at some point, just a little guide on crafting, but yeah, just keep that going. So here you can see the chicken build. We're going to get to that in a bit, but first I just want to show you how to get some of these materials. So most of this farm was already grown before any of it was actually of any use. You'll see that in a moment. The reason I checked my recording here, by the way, is because I had to keep re-recording this and the build later as well. I had to build that chicken about 3 times. Don't know what was going on. I checked my memory, everything was fine, but we got there in the end. So, just taking a look at the farm here, I think what we'll take a look at first is the seeds, as they're brand new. All I've managed to find so far is wheat, and today a couple of beetroot seeds. Very excited about the beetroot seeds. Not really sure what I can do with wheat yet, but with the beetroot seeds I'm hoping that I'll be able to make a red dye. I'll experiment with that this evening, and if that's another source of dye, you know, that we can farm, then brilliant. We've got yellow, we've got red, we've got green. Just up here we've got our moo blooms and our cows. So the moo blooms are producing flowers. They are what we're using predominantly to make the yellow dye. Sometimes we find flowers in the wild, but for the most part, you know, I've got a stack of over 200 flowers at the moment, so we're not short of yellow dye anytime soon. We've also got the cluck shrooms there, currently producing mushrooms. Now these don't currently have a purpose, but in the same way that the moo blooms didn't have a purpose, an update had come out and now they are. So hopefully food will will come into the future, we'll be able to cook our red mushrooms with the brown mushrooms we find in the wild to make mushroom soup. Here we've got the cactus farm, again, had no purpose before, but we knew we could grow it, sorry. So we put it down, and now we can cook cactus, and I had a big stack of that ready for when that update came out as well. So I do suggest, you know, getting prepared on the food side as well for when that does become available. We've got the vines here just sitting on the cobblestone and dirt generator. Currently having issues with the dirt generator. I lost my mud trying to produce a smaller version of my cooker from a suggestion from a Reddit user. So I'm feeling better now. I'm going to head out soon, start hitting up some more chests and hopefully find another one. But I'm in no rush again for cobblestone and dirt. We have an abundance of that in the game right now, so that'll be up and running at some point, but the foundation is there for it. Round here we've got the infinite source of water, or the infinity pool as I like to refer to it as. Very handy for obviously supplying you with unlimited supply of water. And up here we've got the cooker. So I showed you how to build this in episode 1. If you haven't seen that, then I do suggest it. Again, it produces cooked food without using any fuel, and it can also produce other items such as leather. I'm going to demonstrate here with 2 cows. So you just chuck them in here, they'll just flow down, go into the lava, and then eventually they'll cook. It can take some time. That's what's so good about an AFK farm. You can just chuck some animals in there and then you can go and do your other bits. But yeah, this is a good way of getting cooked meats, leather, without using any fuel. And one day, when they do bring that into adventures, fingers crossed, we'll have plenty of meat available and a means to cook future meats as well, already implemented into our auto farm. So there you go. See the leather drop down there? We're just waiting for a couple of steaks. And there you are. Brilliant. So now onto the wool. So very simply, you just need to shear some sheep. What I've done here is I've built a little area where I can have some water funneling down to one corner and have the wool drop as it's shearing. So it all goes into effectively one place. Still need to play around with this idea a little bit because I have found sometimes the wool gets stuck on that pillar behind. So I'm thinking of just making some sort of, you know, funnel or just a back wall to allow that to drop more evenly, but it's no biggie really. You just tap on it. Ultimately it's kind of for show. It is handy having them all come into one place, but also I'm sure there's other ways which are just as efficient. So when it comes to shearing these, you can just leave them to regrow their wool, or you can just pick them up and shear again, especially if you're trying to get that quickly. In terms of using the shears, they do break eventually. They take quite some time. I have this is my first set and I haven't broke them yet, and I've got over 400 wool like I've mentioned, but to make another set you just need 2 iron bars. So again, if you haven't done any adventures yet, highly suggest it. It's where you get good resources like iron, like the lapis for your dye. It's where you get coal, it's where you get diamonds. All your good stuff comes from there. So what we'll do now is we'll go on to the build. Obviously, if it's not obvious, what you do is you just create your yellow dye and then you create your wool. But what I need to do now is need to dismantle that chicken so I can rebuild it, because I'm not going to sit here and shear another 400 wool. That would be mad. So I'll dismantle that and then I'll come back to you guys. Welcome back. Just gathering the resources that we require. So just to go over it, we are going to need 340 blocks of wool in total. That is 294 white wool, 40 yellow wool, 4 red wool and 2 black wool. So I have dismantled everything and left just the 1 block there as our starting block. It's the 5th block from the top and the 7th block from the right. So I just use some white wool here to map it out. It's the easiest way to do it, if your whole base is one colour especially, but that's where we're going to start. And then you want to go 3 blocks from the left there, and on the 3rd block place the other one, so now you've got 2 blocks in between. Again, if the white wool helps, just put it in there to space it out. And then we're just going to want to do a line of 6 in front of these 2 blocks here. and another 6. And there's your feet. Now sticking with the yellow, we're now going to do the legs. So go back to those little nubbins at the back. We're going to go 5 up on each of those. Brilliant, and there's your legs. So now we're going to move on to the torso. So we just place a yellow block on each of these. And then if you go to the outside of each of these blocks on the sides and place 1 there and 1 there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the end one and we're going to come towards ourselves by 2 to the back. Same on the other side. And then we're just going to link these 2 up. Now we come back here. Again on the far side, we want to come forward 5. And then we want to go to the side, pull another 5 in, and then just connect that up, giving us the foundation for our base. Now we're just going to fill this in, so I'll just fast forward through this briefly. Okay, so now we have our base. What we need to do is take any corner for the next step, and we're just going to build up by 5. Now it's quite a straight build, so that's why I say any corner, it doesn't really matter. But if you just go up by 5, and then we're just going to start from the bottom here and make an outer wall, like a ring around this. Now if you can see, the wall is quite bright. Sometimes you just need to find that right angle on the camera to see the side of a piece of wall where you need to be, but you will get used to it. But yeah, what you need to do now is just repeat that process. So we're just going to fast forward through this. Fantastic. So now we have the torso almost complete. We just need to fill in this top layer. So you just want to go and fill this in. We'll fast forward through this now. Brilliant. And there we have the body complete. So the next step is to build the wings. Again with the white wall, you just want to come 1 space in from the left on the top row, place 1 there, and then go down by 3. And then you want to go across right from that last one by 5. And then you just want to go all the way up to the top and then connect it to the side. Brilliant. And then you just want to fill this in, and that's your wing complete. So just repeat that process on the other side. Just going to fast forward through this. And there we have our headless chicken. So the next step is to give it a head. This bit visually gets a bit difficult because of how bright it is, but effectively on this end lip, what you want to do is come in by 1 on the left hand side and place it on the second block. And then you just want to place another 3 more, completing that lip. And then you just want to layer that over again with another 4 blocks 3 times. Again, you just want to find that right angle so you can see the side of the wall. There we go. Brilliant. And now we just want to take another stack of wool by the looks of things, and we want to bring this forward towards ourselves by 2. So if you just get in either corner, get the top bit and just bring it towards us by 2, give it a bit of depth, and then we want to just repeat this throughout the entire top row. And then you just want to take one of the sides and go down by 5, and then double that up. Again, we're just adding depth to this head here. Same again on the other side, just repeat the process. And finally, at the bottom of this rectangle shape, we just want to close it off. Again with 4 more blocks. And there we are. And the last stage is to just complete the final layer to give this a complete closed off look. Brilliant. And that is all the white wool you're going to need for this. The next stage is to get the red, black and yellow wool to give some detail to the face. So if we go and take the top right and top left, the second from the top blocks, just clear those out and put in 2 eyes, and then the row just below that you're just going to want to place 4 yellow blocks, and then the row below that another 4, and then just double up on that. So just go again, lovely, and then just to finish it off, so you just get the red blocks, and we're just going to do a 2 blocks underneath, and then followed by another 2 blocks underneath, so you've got a nice 1 flat layer there. And there you have the Mega Chicken. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it was insightful and has given you a bit more information about the new update. I'll cover the seeds more as I go and find some and add those to my farm. I want to do an overview video for my farm as well. It seems like things are releasing quicker than I had anticipated, so it'd be good to start thinking about what kind of builds we can come up with in the future when they start introducing even more things. So that's the sort of content I want to start bringing you. If you enjoyed this, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. You can follow me on any of my social media there on the side. If you have any suggestions or any questions, please leave a comment. I'm always happy to have a chat, and it's been great having you. Take care.